We are proud to represent the sovereign of the universe and his son, even if we are persecuted. Brother Nikolai Nigrich from Russia has experienced persecution firsthand many times. In spite of that, he has maintained his joy in his service to Jehovah.
My mother came very close to never seeing me again. I asked her to tell me what happened. She told me that in April of 1952, she had been sent to a labor camp. She got 10 years for refusing to betray the brothers taking the lead. It was a big thing back then that a pregnant woman was given such a long sentence. I was born in the labor camp on August 6, 1952. As my mother told me, one winter I became critically ill. I had tuberculosis of the bone. The doctors didn't think I could recover, so they called my father to come and take me away. I was only a year and a half old. My father picked me up and carried me to the village where he lived. He showed me to some doctors, and they were horrified at my condition. They were afraid to take responsibility for me. My father said that one of the doctors there, a woman, felt compassion for me and said she would take on my case. The treatment she prescribed was very painful, but it worked. I did recover from the disease. One sunny day, we were at home in our house in the village. My grandmother was there and my father. I looked, and a woman came in the house and stood in the door. And someone, either my father or my grandmother, said, "Kolya, that's your mother." Then I looked at her again more closely. She was wearing a striped dress. Later I realized that I have been wearing the same striped clothes when my father came to the prison to get me. She took out a toy car, green, made of metal. She pushed it and it clattered up to my feet and stopped. It was the first time that I really understood that I had a mother. She had come, and she was right here. I felt very good. I ran out to the field in front of our house and shouted to our neighbors, "Mama has come! Mama has come!" This was the first really happy event in my life that I remember, that I met my mother. I get excited just remembering it, how it all happened. But my mother and I came very close to never seeing each other again. She said that all the women in the labor camp worked in the forest. The snow was waist high. It was very cold. They were cutting down trees. On one occasion, they were being led back to the camp from the forest. my mother's sled got stuck on a tree stump. The horse could not pull it free. The guards somehow didn't notice. Then they realized that a horse and a prisoner were missing. One of the soldiers ran towards my mother with the rifle. He was already cocking it. My mother told me later that she was terrified. She thought that her life was over. But the other soldier stopped him and said, "It's not her fault. She got stuck." That story I will always remember. I grew up partly without a mother because she was imprisoned. Then it turned out that my son grew up without a father because I was in prison. I was also in prison for my faith. When I was sent to prison, my wife was pregnant. I didn't see my son until a few months after he was born. The first time she brought him, he was tiny. It was during the winter, and it was very cold. She brought him to the prison to see me. She wrapped him in blankets, and there he was, wiggling. She showed him to me, saying, "Here is your son." I felt very tense and trapped because the prison foreman was standing right behind me. But I also felt very happy to have a real family. It was very hard to leave them. I wanted to hold my son, but they didn't let me. The God whom we serve, Jehovah, acted on our hearts and minds with His Holy Spirit. So these trials did not affect us in the way they affected other people. We were optimistic about the future. We were confident that God would not leave His servants. I saw this in my own case. Now I can look back with a smile while remembering everything I lived through.